First time, baby. Let's go. Oh. Or Mitch. Test. He's not in the white car today, so I ain't gonna worry about the curse of the white car. Melon Man's here. Hey Mal. Welcome. The cars are back. The normal cars are back. Yes. No funny white car. Funny car. Yeah, it is funny car game. But no funny cars, as in like normal funny cars. You know. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. No. I literally wrote my race briefing 3 minutes ago. So I am. It's a pretty good briefing though. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Evening Cam, good luck lads. Cheers Roy, as always. FYI, I did not appreciate the smugness of the goat emoji in the history briefing that I got at midday today. I don't know how to feel about that one, alright? Let's just say if you can put it up there again today, you've earned the smugness of the goat emoji. To put it shortly. But yes, have a good one, alright? I love seeing cars go zoom. Amen. Me too. That's why I speak over them, because they're very cool. See, this was the F1 21 theme, so this is like the first song I ever heard. When I started commentating in the lobbies, was this. Brings back some nostalgia. When does it start? In about 3 minutes, hopefully, if everyone shows up on time. That's when it starts. So I'm just sat here singing until it starts. Because I'm that cool. Yeah, so yeah, general rule of thumb, races usually start on the hour, but I usually start my streams 5 minutes early. Although these races hardly ever start on the hour anymore, because someone's usually late. But because it's like a small league community, everyone's devoted to racing, we don't mind like waiting a little bit and not sticking to like a strict start time. Obviously 8 o'clock be there, but the way it works with some of the more bigger servers in league racing, which I don't have the experience of, I'm not so glad at the same time to have that experience, is usually there's a buffer period from, I think if the race was starting at 8, it'd be from 7:45 till 8, you had to be there at 8, race starts at 8, unless there is valid reason for delay. If you're not there at 8, you're not there. Tisk, imagine being late. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. I would never, ever be late. Because that's just not me. I just wouldn't imagine. The thing is, I'm never late, but I'm either chronically early or just on time. So, I mean, I would rather be chronically early, though, than late. You would never be late to anything. I wouldn't, no. Not me. Other than, yeah, a lot of things. I'm late to all the not important stuff. Not the important stuff. I'm not late for. It's just like when we're back in the school term, I don't use my really funky time system of Dave time. I use actual time because I become paranoid. Unless it's work, then I do get a bit lazy over that. But anyway, we're nearly all here now. Dino needs to pick a car. And then we can get going, I believe. Lazy's replied to my GIF. I've been fired. Yippee! Lazy's fired me. He does not have the authority to fire me, but mentally I've been fired, guys. Well, time to not commentate. Ending the stream now. Well, thanks, guys. Well, end the stream. Yeah, sorry guys. I've been fired on the job. I've been fired in the field. Time for me to go. My time as a commentator has been fun while it lasted. I usually save this all for the last race. But it's been a pleasure, and I will leave permanently. Goodbye. I'm joking. I wouldn't leave. I would never leave, because I'd never be late. If I leave, I'm late. Am I? I'm not gonna think about that too much. Right, we should have everyone now. Come on, that's everyone. Voice chat suspended. That's fine. I thought I got kicked. Dino, pick a car. Dino, pick your car. Dino, please pick your car. It's gonna put you in the Aston Martin. And I don't know if you drive for Aston Martin. No, you don't. You drive for AlphaTauri. Please pick your car, Dino. Dino. I need to at Dino. At Dino, pick your car. Don't ready up, Dino's not picking his car. No, it's gonna put him in the Aston Martin. In a Aston, but I'll cope. It's gonna put him leaving is being late permanently. Exactly. And we're gonna get going. So I need to pull up my little spiel arrow. So, hello and welcome to the Principality, home of the most famous circuit in all of racing, the Circuit de Monaco, which is where we find ourselves today for round 7 of League of MVP Season 8, with many past iterations being raced across the many races since 1929. The circuit of today consists of 19 narrow corners, which the drivers will have to navigate across a track length of 3.337 kilometers or 2.074 miles for the ages of the world. This race has a strong history with this league, and today we'll be writing some more. So make sure you're buckled in tight today, because it's gonna get hairy. Round the Principality. That last sentence wasn't there, but we're gonna get going. My little improvised pre-race spiel writing has paid off, and it's not raining, which is a good start. That's what we love to see. I'm missing data. No, I'm not actually. The track map's already enabled. We'll leave this on. Why not? You guys haven't seen the speedometer much. I think I showed it a little bit in the last stream, but I'll show it this time. Why not? We have a Ferrari and an Aston. Who's getting out first? Ooh, no, Haas just slid out there. And if you haven't noticed, we are back to normal racing cars, which is very nice. because I couldn't cope last week. Um, Not raining yet. Very true. It could rain. A wet Monaco would sum up this season so far, I think. So yes, drivers didn't have a I didn't have a mid-season break because I lied. They thought they did, until like a couple days ago when it was told they didn't. And I said, "Is it too late to put one in?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Damn it." I didn't update the championship standings on the Instagram as well. Oh no, it's been a really busy weekend for me, so I'm really sorry in that regard. I could just about make it today, after balancing all my time up. So you're lucky that I'm here in the first place. Anyway, let's get going. AJ is leading us around the Principality, but we'll go into more detail about this track. Okay, a little pre-note. I'm going to call this track many things. I'm going to call it Monaco. I'm going to call it the Death Circuit. I'm going to call it Monte Carlo. I'm going to call it the Principality. Just if you hear any of those things, I'm talking about the track. Right, here we go. On board with AJ. Let me get rid of the leaderboard. Here we go. Get all this up. So here, it's start finish straight. Taking it a bit weird in the gear here, but going now into turn one. This is a big accident corner. A lot of things can happen, but he's managed it pretty well. In turn one for the race, look out for that corner. Going now around through here, you notice the barriers are very tight, and that is a common trend with this circuit. They're always going to be very, very tight now. Going down into the hairpin. Very famous corner. Casino hairpin, I believe. Is it a casino? It might be a hotel. And then another famous section coming up here, to the right here, is the tunnel. Flat out through the tunnel. I've got to be very careful because on the exit you're going to go and see Jesus and then go straight into a heavier downhill braking zone into Novo Chicane. I think that's what that one's called. Now into a left-hander here, down into the docks. What are they called? The pier. There we go. Oh no, I forget what they're called. But going round. Is it Ravatsa? I don't remember. No, I don't think it's Ravatsa, but going round to finish the lap. Time to beat either 1:10, 5:48. Excuse me. It's better than any practice lap I've seen from AJ. And David does a number better by 0.2. A 1:10.397. Snoopy 1:11.9. Roy a 1:11.927. Snoopy a 1:11.976. Jens a 1:12.575 in the normal Alpine, retiring the pink for this race. Nambra at a 1:11.619. Josh Morton a 1:10.888. Where's the other Mercedes? Let me get a lock on this Mercedes here, because I want to see how Mark does around a street circuit. Question is, the answer is not the question. Not so hot at the minute. 1:5.48, tied with AJ for lap time. Exactly. But AJ gets it due to alphabetical orders. We've had our first crash. That is the scene. Going into casino. There we claim our first victim. Very violent crashes. Very, very hard if you're on a lap and someone crashes, because the whole width of the track is taken up by a car here. Let me just pull up a track map so I can remember some of these corner names. You got, the Nouvelle Chicane is that chicane out the tunnel. You have Piscine, which is the pool section. Pool, that's it. Rascasse, that's it. Rascasse. Yeah. Yeah, Hotel Hairpin Casino. Yeah, okay. Portier. Yeah. I remember now. I remember the corner names. Monaco is one of those ones which you at least know a few of them on because it's such a famous circuit. But I haven't been looking at the timesheet. A wet GP2. One Alfa Romeo out, the other one up in qualifying provisional second. A 1:10.491 from an Alfa Romeo. AJ sitting third. Lazy 4 who's gone over George Burmeister 1:11.199. Swampy a 111.21717. Sorry, I said 171717 there. AJ a 110.376. Kevin Cowell 111.5 dead. Narmbread 111.619. I think I went over that one. I'm beating Sai 111.641. Smidge 111.701. There's another retirement. I think that might have been in the pit lane though. Roy 111.927. B Pros has 111.938. And Snoopy 111.976. Yes. Team Red 112.143 will be second last to line up on the grid today. There's a tyre in the middle of the road. I've just noticed Jens at 112.575 and Mitch and Hamby on laps currently. I should say that this circuit, especially towards the end of qualifying, gets very full and will cause a lot of traffic jams. So be prepared for some action in that regard. Let's go to Hamby and the Williams. Hamby on a particular rise to form, and going into the second half of the season, he says he's looking to keep where he's going. He's challenging the big dogs at the minute, but this circuit, this qualifying, is more important than anything. You qualify high here, it's very hard to overtake in the actual race. If you qualify pole, I don't remember the exact statistic, but I think, what is it, 70% of wins come from pole position around here at Monaco because it's so hard to overtake. And if you get your pit strategy right, it's all about pit strategy in this race. So I've been told by Roy that if I do not check the tyres, that he will brutally murder me. And I wouldn't be surprised actually today we see softs off the bat, because honestly you could just predict a safety car off the start here and use those soft tyres. Although this is a really hard circuit to overtake on, it's not impossible. There are a few corners which you can get it done. Hamby is going to get this lap wrapped up just about for the 10-minute mark, and it's going to be a P5 110.1619. I swear we had a lap time very similar. Yes, we did 111.619 over there. The top four out on outlaps again. Josh Morton on a flyer or an inner. Narnbread on a flyer going out of tunnel into Nouvelle. Roy just coming out of Nouvelle now with his teammate Sondre in front, also known as Swampy. Many crashes to come indeed. Takes a little bit of a corner cut there. I don't know how I feel about that. Was that impeding, or was he on a slow lap? I can't tell. Did he yield that position? Was he trying to go offline? Comes out of Raskas a bit shaky into the pit lane. I think that might have just been an in lap, but if that was invalidated, if that was impeding even, I wouldn't be too surprised. Hamby is definitely on an inner. Josh Morton coming up to the line now out of that corner, which I don't know if it even has a name. I think it was going to have a name, but then they decided not to name it because the person who it was going to be named after said not to name it. I think that's how that went. Or is that Spa? I don't remember. Anyway, Josh Morton, a 110.478 P3 currently. And the two Hasses going around now. Are they trying to do a slipstream strat? No, they're not. They're very far apart. David going now into Hotel Hairpin. AJ just coming through now onto Casino. I remember my corner names. I feel so proud of myself. I feel like an actual commentator now. Mitch on an invalid lap. Up a decent amount of time as well. I assume that's going to be an inner. We'll keep an eye around. The Haas should be coming towards the end of the lap now. Yes, coming down to Paul. Now up towards Raskas. Pretty high speed. Pretty blind as well, and it's really high. He's really easy, sorry, to clip your wall. Wetchy goes P1, a 110.089. Is AJ gonna steal it? Yes, David even is gonna steal it. A 109.839. That's quick, but can we go quicker? That tire is still there in the middle of the road. But Oechi is someone to look out for here. AJ does snag it. P2, however, a 110.002. Essentially a 110 dead. We round down there. Minuscule in terms of time. Zooming, indeed. Indeed, we have some zoomers today. Lazy could do with some improvement, especially Narborough as well. Was quite strong coming out, but has fizzled down the order a bit. Sadly. Here goes Swampy. I think that is to set a lap. A 110 there. Nearly gets in the way of the Mercedes. Mercedes going to get in the way of him even. A 110. 6-9. Nice. 6. Lazy's also out on one. Let's get a look into Nouvelle Chicane. Very, very hard chicane, I can say from experience. Having to drive that chicane is very hard. But going around now, you see how it's very much on, off, coast, on, off, coast, brake, coast, brake. It's very, very, very technical around here. Very much driver skill and how close they get to that inside load. And you can also clip your rear there, where you're not very careful. Stalling the engine out a bit just to get a better traction at the corner, but it's a pretty slow lap there from Lazy. I don't feel like that one was meant to be competitive. Because it did seem like too much lifting and coasting. As you'll see it here, you got a little green bar on the left hand side at the bottom center and a red right hand bar. Right on the left, green on the right. Doesn't really make sense to me, it should be the other way around. But when the green bar is full, they're going at full throttle. When the red bar is full, they're full braking. And then if you see a mixture of the two, you can infer. There you go, look at Smidge here. Going flat through here. A lot of downforce on these cars of this circuit. 50-50 wings for some of the drivers. If you don't know what that means, 50-50 wings is essentially the measurement of the wings. The higher the number, essentially the more downforce the car produces. So when I say 0-0 wings, that's a very much top speed setup. When I say 50-50 wings, that is very much downforce orientated, sacrificing top speed in favor for downforce. Oechi out on another lap. I'll keep an eye on him. Roy, P3 last time out here. He's currently a few tenths down. Could actually stick this in the low 110 region if he keeps this lap time up. Going through Hotel Hairpin, does pretty well. Heading towards Tunnel now. A famous crash happened here recently with Sergio Perez catching up Max Verstappen in qualifying. Let's not see a repeat of that in terms of this digital recreation. Going now into Nouvelle Chicane. Takes it pretty spot on, I would say there. Good exit. Good speed, flat out. Into here. Lift off a little bit. Comes very close to the inside of the wall. Outside of the wall there even. You've got to take it really fine around here if you want a good lap time though. Really, really play into the walls. Into Rascass. Pretty well. Doesn't clip his rear. But clips into the pit lane. That looked like a fast lap. I don't know what happened there on that lap. But that looked like it had some pace on it. I hope the wheel is going to be there the whole race. It won't. The track will reset after qualifying. But the wheel is the main character right now. Just look at it. Sat there, down in Sector 1. Absolute Chad. There we go. There's my audio. I lost my audio for a second. Apologies if you heard any unholy sounds. Someone just jumped up the order there. I don't know who that was. But here goes Oechi. I think this might be an in-lap, though. I get the feeling. Very much letting it coast around here, the hairpin. I'm not seeing a lot of flat out, unless that is just my brain playing tricks on me. The wheel will be missed. The wheel will be missed. I don't know if the drivers can actually see it, but if they can, I kind of hope they can. I think this is an inner because, 3 seconds up, which up is a bad thing, but here come all the drivers out the pit lane. Let's get some scenes on this. Here goes Roy. Swampy even. Even in their normal cars, I can't tell them apart, okay? It's very hard. So, the risk really is here. Do you come out in these last 2 minutes? Or do you go out just before? I think everyone's going with the latter. If you can see, the pit lane's looking pretty busy taking cars in, but also shoving them out. So it's very hard to tell what strategy is going to happen here. Also, before I forget, someone remind me that I need to do tires. But look at all these cars, just stationary into the casino hairpin, the hotel hairpin even. I think Alexi's going to try and go out again. Hopefully he's put enough fuel in that to last these couple of laps he's spending going out. If he has, very, very smart of him. I must say, incredibly smart. I think that might be how pole position's won here. Jens has no front wing, and therefore no downforce. So he is going around at a snail's pace, and I think that's going to be the end to Jens qualifying. No way they get a wing changed and back out and do a lap in 1 minute 22. So I think that is Jens. I'm going to call that out of qualifying. Probably a collision with the wall that put that dream to rest. The other Alpine does have time to fly, however. So we'll keep an eye on that. A lot of people currently out on laps, not taking the risk of going right up to the line, although I think they have put a little bit more fuel in these cars, I would imagine, to get them round if they were smart. That's what I would have done. But whether or not they've done that, or whether they are on the same wavelength, or maybe what I'm thinking is just incredibly stupid, it's beyond the realm of belief. Taking a look around, there goes unbeaten sign off Raskas. It's a very high timed lap. So this will be the competitive lap here for Sign. Needs to get up there a bit more for Williams. I think these positions do essentially determine the race result. Not entirely. But they are, if we took a before and after shot of the race results to this, it'd be pretty similar unless we have a disaster class of a race. AJ! 109.835. I think just letting that pop a bit early, I think. And won't have... Oh, actually, might have enough battery to go around again, even. Swampy is out. Swampy's crashed. Voice crack. In the same place, or a very similar place. Yeah, no. They've just cleaned up that car, luckily. But those who did get impeded by that will be very, very unfortunate. So a few people have finished. Lazy not going to be improving from P5. Hamby from P7. B Process. Kevin, Cal, and Jens all locked in their current position. Josh Morton there. Retiring, I hope, in the pit lane and not on the track. Everyone coming into the pits. I have a feeling no one else is going to be able to set a time here. Narmbred stuck behind a Ferrari here, kind of getting a bit of a tow here. David has retired. AJ has retired, I think, as well. He's just gone across the chicane, so that will not be a proper lap time. These two, though, are going to try and set this lap time they're going round on now. Narmbred really needs an improvement, doesn't score, nor does the Ferrari of Snoopy. No improvements there, other than AJ in that closing, 2-3 minutes. And that'll be because of the risk of traffic, and that, yeah, AJ played that. I dissed it a little bit, but honestly, he probably did the smartest play there. Let it pop a little bit early, and then just let the chaos ensue. Someone inevitably pushed it too hard, but Swampy does manage to get up into P4 for McLaren before crashing out, which I think is actually their highest positional finish to date in terms of qualifying. We'll see how that lasts for the race. There's a Haas 1-2. Williams are quite far off. Mercedes are quite far off. But let's look at this a little bit longer, shall we? AJ takes pole position for the race today around Monaco. David takes P2. Oechi, Seb, P3. Swampy, P4. Lazy, P5. Josh, P6. Hamby, P7. Burmeister, P8. Mitch, P9. Narmbred, P10. Roy, P11. B Process, P12. Kevin Cal, P13. Sign, P14. Smidge, P15, Jens P16, Snoopy P17, Team Red P18, and Dino did not set a lap time P19. Now, I think what here is really good for Haas They have an Alfa Romeo who barely have any points, McLaren, and then they have Lazy. But the Haas 1-2 is going to outscore whatever Mercedes score if they finish like this. So Mercedes needs to get a wiggle on. Williams only has one car in the provisional points at the minute. So this race is really going to have to... They're really going to have to put up a fight against Haas here if Mercedes and Haas want to pull off something here. And is it gonna rain? It's not raining. It is a miracle how we do not have a rain at Monaco, because that would really sum up the season. Excuse me. I usually get the memo out that I'm doing commentating, but obviously not today. The witty banter must go on hold. The witty banter has returned. Right, okay, so the light's coming on now. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5. And we go green in Monaco. Haas getting off to a pretty good start here. Going 1, 2, the Alfa Romeo have said they're doing a pretty good job trying to split them up, but to no avail so far. Let's get a quick look at the tyres for of choice. It's mediums, hards, and softs there in the lower midfield. Hards a little bit, especially with Seb going for a longer run here. Very, very interesting. Lazy already gaining position on Swampy at the start. Burmeister, Hamby, some small marginal gains here. Here through the hairpin. Oh my god, it's a pile-up. It is a pile-up. Who was that who went so far down? Smidge. Really unlucky, but Snoopy gaining a lot of positions there at the hairpin. The ghosting really screwing over some of the drivers here. Into, not Rashcast, Nouvelle Chicane. Does pretty well. None of the drivers seem to have a catastrophic incident so far. AJ has lived most of the first lap so far. I don't want to jinx him, however. AJ has been crashed out on the first lap for the past 2 races, and he's qualified on pole and P2, respectively, for those races. But congratulations to AJ. In the first time in 2 seasons, he finally completes a lap on pole position without crashing out. It is a miracle of the world that AJ has lived the first lap, although it was David who caused one of those crashes last time. But now they are teammates, and they assured me that that would not happen again this time round. But actually still running P3, Lazy, getting the jump on Swampy at the start. Burmeister, Hamby also taking a position on Swamp. Snoopy up 5 at the back, but B-Process and Smidge down 4 and 6 respectively. I think they had to come into the pits. I have a feeling there may have been some wing damage. Yeah, the cars look like one long caterpillar, and there is a term for that. There is a very specific term we have for that, and that is called a DRS train. When the DRS gets enabled here, because of the power of the DRS, everyone just sort of stays in one big conga line. So yeah, there is a term for one big long caterpillar of cars. But yeah, I should say, in some of the past races, statistically, there have been more safety car laps than racing laps. And it would be an absolute miracle if we could go today without any safety car laps. Although I don't think that's going to happen. Going on to the hards there is Jens. Taking a quick nip into the pits. Probably some front wing damage. No stranger around these parts. Ooh, very close there. From Nullenbred on Mitch through Hotel. Very, very, very close. Getting a good whiff of the gearbox exhaust. Gearbox doesn't have an exhaust. Gearbox and exhaust. Let's put it that way. David, AJ still leading out this pack. Oechi behind. Lazy P4, Swampy P5. Josh, Burr, Hamby, Mitch, and Nanbread make your top 10 currently. All within a second of each other, minus Mitch. Is a little bit off the pace here, but I think he has working on closing the gap, and I think DRS has just been enabled. So we should see some of that DRS action through the DRS zones on the track. We should be coming very soon. But there is only one detection point on the track, and that is going into Raskas. Double DRS, no, not even double DRS, just single DRS straight going into Raskas. And then DRS straight down the main straight. Did they get rid of the one going up through Sector 1, the second straight? I think they did. They must have gotten rid of it, because, yeah, Smidge and Jens swapping position. Jens in the pit lane again, excuse me. In the pits again onto the medium compound. Is already on the verge of being lapped. Another pit stop and it will be lapped. But he's had to pit for his wing changes. He can't keep crashing out, or else he's actually going to end up 20 seconds behind the pack at this rate. Crashed out. Wait, I want to see how many pit stops there is. 2 stops. Nearly won every lap of the race. Yeah, you can't be having that, Alpine. Especially with Josh Morton in P6. We're going to take a look, though, at the front. This race is always so hard to commentate. Because, you can clearly tell, nothing really happens. Because even with DRS, the cars are usually just stay in one big line and there's not a lot you can do. You really do sort of have to hope for like a big crash or anything. From a spectator's point of view, for an interesting race. And even from my point of view. From my point of view, I'm just trying to make it interesting by speaking funny words. And another pit from Jens. This is really bad. I think we're about to set a record here for the quickest amount of time for a car to be lapped in MVP history. 5 laps it has taken for Jens to be lapped by the leader, and nearly about half the grid as well. Yeah, literally like most of the grid. 1 yawn. Yes, thank you for my yawn tally. So Jens has already been lapped by more than half the grid now. I have a feeling his car's in AI mode because he is ghosted right now. And he's getting blue flags. Blue flags, for those who aren't aware, because I don't think we've ever really seen them in our other races, because the racing's usually pretty close. But blue flags is when there's a car in front who you are about to lap, and the car in front must yield position. That does not mean that they can't retake the position, but it just means within a bit, it's like sort of like, get out my way so you don't impede my race. Sort of audio, but you can still, when you're behind, go for an overtake on them. But you usually have to yield back the position. It's mainly, you can do some funky team tactics with it. It's not really worth much. And oh my god, so the time for a singular car, the time for the lead car to lap Jens was 5 laps, and the time for the entire pack of cars to lap Jens is very fast approaching, because the only one left is Smidge. Actually, Smidge hasn't been lapped yet, excuse me. Oh yeah, actually, he won't be fully lapped for a while. Anyway, welcome all 6 of you to the stream. You join us at Monaco, very prestigious circuit, people watching because of history. Hey, hope something's happened. Josh Morton, 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. I doubt it's collision warnings around here. At Nouvelle Chicane. I'll be real. My personal opinion, I think this race is great in terms of like driver skill. But from a spectating point of view, it's quite bad, and qualifying arguably is the better deal than the race itself. So it's nice to have a little bit of a slide there by Burmeister. Are we going to see an overtake by Hamby? I think we are. They're going side by side up through into Casino, but he has to yield the position. It's little moments like that which you got to capitalize on, little slides of the car in front, and you just floor it, you just gas it. But that is also how 99% of accidents occur around Monaco. Kevin Cow joining the back three. But we'll keep an eye on Hamby for a little bit. Of course, Hamby having a really good season. Would like to get on the podium again, but of course around Monaco, it's going to be very, very hard to pull off. And it is only lap 8. I should say, Monaco is really weird in terms of how it works. Monaco is a circuit which is too short for the minimum lap length in Formula 1. But because it's Monaco, they let it happen. Monaco gets a lot of track rule exemptions in terms of... Yeah, it gets a lot of exemptions of the track rules. So tracks must meet a minimum length. Monaco does not meet that length. So the complete race distance... No, I don't know. Oh no, the first bit's true, but I do know the complete race distance is less than a normal race, because usually what they'll do is to calculate the race distance, so the lappage count, they'll have a minimum race distance, and then they'll get the number of laps that equate to that, and then add one if it's not already over. But Monaco, for some reason, just doesn't do that. Monaco also recently it was the first race, I think, in recent times to go down to the 3-hour broadcasting limit. And what has happened here? First pit stop here for Haas. David DePay. This usually sets off some chain reactions across the grid. Narnberg and Josh Morton with penalties. I have just noticed. I think I'm going to have to count that as yawn number 2. I'm sorry, guys. But David onto the hards now for 30 laps. No, for essentially 30 laps. Now, do I think this is going to work? Not really. Could it work? Maybe. But this is the undercut of all undercuts. You have one more yawn. To be fair, I never really know what happens when I hit 3 yawns. Right. But I don't want to think about it too much. Anyway, so the real pressure now lies on Alexi and AJ, because now they have to decide whether or not they box. Let's take a look. AJ's not going to box. Alexi is not going to box. They think it's too early. I think Lazy's having a tight line. No boxing, no boxing. No box, no box, no box. Red Bull there, ghosting inside Mitch, trying to gain that position. Can't manage Sign, ghosting through Snoopy. I think... Oh no, Snoopy's in the pits getting a wind change. Today we find out. I hope today we don't find out. A few cars in the pits now, so AJ is gonna... No. I'm getting them mixed up. David is going to gain some positions back in which he lost earlier on in this race. Well, earlier on, I mean a lap ago. But the leaders still think it's unwise to pit, which confuses me ever so slightly. as to why they wouldn't pit. I have a feeling, my gut tells me it's a bit early, but it's hello. My brain malfunctioned. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. If you just joined, I saw the viewer count go up, and I just said hi. But hello everybody. My name is Markiplier. My name is not Markiplier. My name is Dave or Cameron. I don't mind what you call me. You can call me the commentating guy if you really want. And that's a pit stop there from Sign. Let's get a quick look at the tyres now. So those soft runners have come off their compounds, which may have been that back second stop. Virtual safety car just gone out here, and a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Burmeister. To Mitch. I think Mitch might have brought out that VSC. Let's check for some wing damage on some of these cars. Looks intact, looks intact, looks intact, looks intact. If you're going to pit, I say pit now under a VSC. The pit stops are technically shorter. May it have been that Ferrari that caused the VSC? Who caused the VSC? Now, so who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? I doubt it was any of the top three, but Lazy has actually gone up here. I don't know how he's done that, but there's your tyres. We'll get a quick look here. Yeah, Lazy's jumped another position here. I think that's because of David pitting the Burmeister 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Here we go. The penalties are starting to rake in now. And are we going to see a pit stop? No. No. Mitch gets another time penalty. Are we going to see a pit stop from Lazy? Swampy, no leaders. Still think it's too early. Has David done an oopsie? Has David been done in by his teammate? Has David said, oh, you should pit, homie, it will be great, and has screwed him over in the process? Burmeister going very slowly into the pit lane there. Did not want to risk a speeding penalty, I think. And Burmeister retires from the session. So our first DNF, but not due to any accident of his own, more or less due to whatever the driver's reason is to DNF. I have a feeling, well, I think we should have a system where the driver DNFs from a race, they should get, I don't know, it might be a bit cruel if a driver DNFs, like, retires from a race. I guess not, because drivers retire, but that's because mechanical issues don't have mechanical issues. But I guess you can't. I don't know. I feel like as if a driver retires, they should get a punishment for it if they retire too much. If anyone in stream has an opinion on that, please do let me know. I'd be very interested to feel if that's too harsh or not. Just going on my little daily scout mission. Here. Sign. David going up to P7. P6 now after Swampy pits. The undercut is working. But the real question is, are the leaders working? Let's take a look. The way we can figure this out. If we go on to lead, time difference by leader. The average pit stop, a slap on the wrist. The average pit stop for every circuit is around 23 seconds. Some is closer to 21, some is closer to 24. However, I don't know what it is exactly for this circuit, but a good average to take is 23. David currently is sitting around a 22 plus from leader, which is looking pretty good in terms of what that means for him and his undercut strategy. But if you've actually noticed, I did say that the grid wouldn't change a lot, but it's changed quite a bit. The pit stop strategy has changed around the order. But for some people, this race is a two-stop. And Non-Bread comes into the pit lane, ready to bite the bullet of a 22-second deficit, or 23-second deficit, down into and through the pit lane. Hamby currently P4. Lazy. All of a sudden, Mercedes and Williams have a presence in this race. The other Mercedes and Williams, well, I mean, they're in the points. But Lazy and Hamby all of a sudden have a presence in this race against AJ. And David isn't too far behind. And Electri's just here having a good time because why not? Dino, she's like a bad penalty for multiple warnings. But Electri's just here for the vibes, you know? You got the tryhards and the guy there for a good time. Another VSC here. No full courses yet, which impressive. But I assume they're just bringing out the virtual every now and again just to clean up the debris, get it all off the track, because a lot of people break the front wings. AJ into the pit lane under a VSC. That could not have timed better for him, I think. And I think, yeah, Lazy going to follow him right in there. And it would be very wise for Hamby to do the same. But Hamby has been speeding under the VSC and gets a drive-through penalty, which he won't serve during this pit stop, I think. He'll serve it during the next pit stop. Yeah, ooh, that's nasty. Drive-through penalties, for those unaware, is where you have to drive through the pit lane. It's just, you turn into the pit lane. Oh, a few more speeding on the, a few more drive-through penalties. For Snoopy as well. And some 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Here's the tyre changes, but VSC. So you drive through the pit lane with your pit limiter on, but you don't turn into pit or anything. No work is done on the car. You drive through the pit lane as a means to slow you down. Yeah, every car has stopped now, but Oechi going on the alternate strategy. So if the original strategy is medium to hards, Oechi is on the alternate strategy, which is hard to mediums. Sometimes alternate versus the original strategy works pretty well. Other times it's just straight up the wrong answer. I think around Monaco the alternate can work. It just very much depends because you'll be pitting at a time where everyone else is already pitted. So you need to pull a pretty big time deficit. So if you're going to do the alternate, you got to be pretty quick. 8 people in the chat. Welcome to Monaco, the Principality, Monte Carlo. The action is going down. Pit stop strategies, big brain games, as I call them, are going down. Lazy overtaking a few people in the pit lane. Yeah, the Mercedes reunited as brothers. There's a very interesting thing I've noticed, right? If we look at a Red Bull, right? Well, actually, if we look at this Red Bull that's currently in a fight. Oh, there's an end plate gone. And the entire front wing of the Alpine gone there. Which will definitely help the Red Bull there. And I think we've had our first crash. Yes, we have. That's a full course safety car. Because of course it is. Let's take a look at the wreck. Oechi, currently in first, gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under a safety car. They're being really harsh with the speeding today. I think the car has been cleaned up, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully we might be able to see a tyre crop up on someone's POV. Let's see if we can. See a tyre anywhere. Where's the tyre? Where is it? Where have you crashed out? Exit of the corner, grazed the wall, gone straight through here, straight on here. No, yeah, there on the exit, yeah. Okay, well, okay, let's take a quick look at penalties here. You cannot, I believe, serve a drive-through under the safety car. Well, maybe you can. Wheel moment? No, no wheel, sadly. I looked for it, no wheel. Hamby gets a drive-through, oh my god. Oprah Winfrey, are you here? You get a drive-through. You get a drive-through. Everyone gets a drive-through. And Hamby's retired from the race. In the pit lane, I hope. Yeah, in the pit lane. Did not want to deal with that drive-through, did Hamby. And obviously did not want any points today either. That drive-through obviously proving too detrimental. Now, on a circuit like Monaco, there's 2 ways you can deal with a drive-through. You can either serve the drive-through. You can serve the drive-through. And Swampy gets a drive-through penalty for falling too far back. 5-second penalty to Jens for ignoring the yellow flag. What on earth is happening today? Falling too far back. I've never seen that penalty before. I have never, ever seen the penalty falling too far back for a drive-through. Oh my god. Another drive-through, another 5 second, another 5 second? I think the game might be bugged here, come on. Unless people are blatantly speeding. I mean, it concerns me that only a few drivers have it, and like not the likes of like AJ, David, Sign, Lazy, and Roy, who are not more talented, but they are more experienced. 10 viewers. Hello. You've joined at a very controversial time. A lot of penalties have just been dished out. So, as I was saying before I got ever so rudely interrupted by about a slew of penalties. Here we go. Now that we've seen them. Wow, sign up 10 positions because of all that action. Jesus. Essentially, there's two ways you can deal with a drive-through. Suck it up and serve it, which you can't do under a safety car. Or just not serve it, and if you don't serve it, you get a 5-second time penalty added, or is it a 10-second? I don't know. I think it's either a 5 or a 10-second penalty post-race. So you get that. Oh, who disqualified? I don't know. I don't remember. I know if you don't serve a 5 seconds, you get a 10-second. If you don't serve a 3, you get a 5. No, if you don't serve a 3, it doesn't matter. But if you don't serve a 5, you get a 10. And in some cases, it's better just to not serve a 5. I don't know what happens if you don't serve a DNF. What is this hay race holy? Okay, well, we've had 1 crash and 2 retirements, to be fair. So only 1 of the 3 DNFs have been crashes. But it's going to be a very sad day for Williams. Sign might get his time in the spotlight today, who knows. But Hamby, Williams championship contender, is no longer in contention for the championship. Which is, well, not the outcome, I don't think, out of contention for this race even. I think I said the championship. Out of contention for this race, and I don't think that's what the boys in blue would have wanted today. Because, well, they had a pretty strong position, but if Hamby thought that drive-through was the nail in the coffin, then this is a crazy race. Yeah, Monaco always is. You should see Monaco Open lobbies. Holy, I must show you that one time. Monaco Open lobbies are, wow, worse than this. Safety car in this lap is up to Seb to back up the pack. Now, something you can do off the end of the safety car. He can now just dive into the pits instead of the drive-through, which would be a very bad idea, because it would essentially put him plumb last. But it is an idea. Yeah, no, of course he's not going to serve. He's just going to drive on through. Yeah, exactly. Right, here he goes. Oechi going now to the line. Overtaking is permitted. Looking back, I see a Williams and a Mercedes. They're getting optimistic. Oh, it's very squirrely. Mark gets a 3-second time penalty, excuse me, for multiple warnings. Gives the position back to Sign here. Look at this little scrap going on here. Very high speed, very dangerous, very close. Honestly, I hate when people fight around here and when they go this fast, when they're all so close together and they start looking down the inside like that. Like, I start like physically like squirming and like looking away. It's like cringe response. And oh my god, look at this hairpin, the Alpine in the blender. Unbeaten Sign just trying to fend off Lazy here. I don't see any wing damages on any of the cars yet. But it could come. Wing damage could just appear. Kevin Cow, 3 time penalty for multiple warnings. Maybe collisions here, especially on this opening reinstating safety car lap. And we're 21 laps in. We're just about over half distance now. We got essentially 20 laps to go. So, very nice. So, Oechi on the fastest lap. That alternate strategy might have paid off. Dino 5-second time penalty. But you got to remember, Oechi has that drive-through that still needs to be served. And unfortunately, that must be served within the next 2 laps, or else something will come his way. I don't know what. But he's actually pulled a pretty decent gap to the Hasses. Look at that. 3.8 seconds. But it's not going to be enough to save a drive-through penalty, especially when the grids are this close. That safety car and drive-through penalty, more like, came at an awful time for Oechi. He was close. He was really close in, I think, Monza to a podium. And he's really close to a race win here. Although it's only half distance, this might be the nail in the coffin for him, this drive-through penalty, or what comes of it. But if I know Oechi, he's not going to give up. And DRS has been re-enabled. So maybe Lazy can figure out this move. Nanvra not too far behind, but look how fast. Honestly, you don't appreciate the speed of these cars until you realize how long these roads are in a normal car. Especially, you don't realize how fast they're going because of the length of the car. These cars are like quite long. They're like, it's like maybe 1/25 of a road car. It's like chop off the front nose and that's a normal road car. And then going at those speeds as well, around such a tight, complex course, it's very, very hard. But oh my god, looking at it through Nouvelle was Lazy. I'm going to keep an eye on Lazy. Lazy seems to be on the pounce. Car number 99. Number used to be belonging to Antonio Giovinazzi, I believe. Unless that was 77, but I thought Bottas was 77. Maybe, I think, yeah, 99 was Antonio Giovinazzi. But Seb has had to bite the bullet. The drive-through penalty has been served. And it's P10 behind his teammate. Which no one wants to see. But it is a necessary evil that must have been served. So here you go. Oh, here you go. Look at this. Mark takes a gander. But goes in. That's another crash. That's a virtual safety car. The car has been cleaned up. Same place as Nick. Going out of Casino into the sharp right-hander. Smack dab into that wall. Yeah. That's another victim claimed around the Monaco circuit. We're lucky for that to be a virtual. We're just lucky there wasn't more cars there. They look like hammerhead sharks with wheels, yeah. I just got here. What happened with the penalties? Oh, you should have seen it. Oh my god, the penalties went mad, Camu. The penalties, honestly, there's some of the numbered penalties. I say numbered because, holy, there was some ridiculous amount of drive-throughs. Seb retires. Alfa Romeo has been wiped out of the race now entirely. And there's been some pit stops, but I'll let Cammy just quickly get a look at those penalties. But about 4 to 5 drivers got drive-throughs. Most of them for speeding under yellow flags. One of them, I've never seen this before, Cammy. You're going to have to tell me if you've seen this before. Yielding too far back from the safety car. I've never ever seen that penalty applied before, but maybe that's just because I've never ever seen anyone do it. But it was for Swampy. who was running P4 at the time, and he wasn't too far yielding. Well, that completely... Oh, no. I've just taken a look at who's in first place. Also, I think this is a full course, but it does say it's a virtual. It is a full course. I don't know what kind of smoke the game's on right now. But the game is on some mad smoke. So, the situation at hand currently. We have no Alpha Romeos in the race. We've lost Hamby, so one of the top 3 fighters. We have AJ currently in first. That hasn't changed since the race has started, other from that brief time where he pitted. Lazy has climbed his way up to where he is currently. Same with Narmbred, so Mercedes 2 and 3. However, they both have time penalties of 3 respectively to both of them. Roy is somehow in this mixture. I don't know how. And I kind of regret saying I would give him GOAT status if he came on the podium. Actually, no, I didn't say that. I said that the smirk, what's that word? The word that means, like, up yourself, not like cocky. I'll use cocky. The cockiness of his GOAT emoji in my pre-race briefing to describe himself. I said I would say that he wasn't being cocky. I did not say I would give him GOAT status. So the world is in peace. So Process is in the middle of the safety car queue as a lapped car. I don't think lapped cars on the safety car unlap themselves. They usually do in the real life. There we go, we've changed to a full course now. It took them a hot minute. We had a solid first half of this race without a safety car. But now we're in safety car heaven, I think. Be the Process has retired from the session. We're going to have a lot of DNFs, I feel. At this rate, if we have 3 more DNFs, whoever finishes is getting points. And God, if you retired, you would feel so not dumb, but you would feel so, like, incomplete. Eight people watching, welcome to Safety Car Heaven, aka Monte Carlo, aka Circuit de Monaco, aka the Principality. We're just waiting for the safety car to come in, and we're gonna have a good time. Fingers crossed, everything goes okay. Let me go check the Discord gossip. Let me see what the people are saying in the Discord. They're crying at each other. The last message. Stay safe, people. And then it is a clip of someone just sending it under a safety car. And then right, I see where Seb got Awechi, and I know we're back under racing, and I should be commentating that, but I'm just quickly checking this clip for the drive-through penalty. By pulling into the pit, it seems that because he didn't hit the delta before pulling into the pits, the drive. But yes, we are back racing. Even with the safety cars, this race is not safe at all. Amen. I don't know why. I get why we race here. It's for the history of Formula One. It's to embrace the culture, where we came from, to where we are now. Modern cars on an old track. Big words, but I think they do really need to reassess the safety of this track, because it's dangerous, man. It's really dangerous. I love this track. I really do. It's up there with one of my favorites. I love the street tracks because of that slight danger level, because of the skill it takes to drive them. But if we look at some of the more modern street tracks, it just seems to be a bit more safer. Look at Singapore. You've got a bit more longer runoffs. You've still got those like tighter sections like here, but they do have, for the corners which provide a bit more difficulty, especially the faster corners, the high-speed corners, they do have that runoff area. So I don't know. And the other sad reality, well, first of all, we have 10 laps left. Second, the actual sad reality I wanted to get onto is that with these new modern cars, they're really long and really big. They can't really fit on these circuits anymore, and the old circuits that used to be raced are being replaced by new circuits, aka half of America. They're being replaced by newer circuits and street circuits, because street circuits are easy for Formula One to just temporarily build up and go and come back next year to. That's why we're seeing 2 street circuits in America. They introduced Miami, and then now they've introduced Las Vegas this year. That's why we're seeing, rumors of a Barcelona street race and London street race. But yes, it's cool to have these one-off events, but it's also really important that the driver's safety is incorporated. But you also do have some of those old tracks, like, what was it? Contracts of a lot of these older tracks start expiring about this year, next year, for their places on the Formula One calendar. And we're going to start losing tracks such as Silverstone and Monaco, which have great history. Not to say that we're not, like, Spa also has great history and we're keeping Spa. Not to say that other tracks don't have great history, but Silverstone, I don't know if that contract has been renewed. I think that contract expires next year, and they haven't done anything to renew it. I remember there being rumors about Silverstone being taken off the calendar. Like, we saw France get taken off the calendar this year, and yes, France isn't a big, like, so France were part of the reason why Formula One exists today. But speaking of France has reminded me about this clip of this old commentator we had who popped into our stream the other day. It reminded me of this clip of this commentator that we used to have who came into the stream last week, Mr. Zach Sweeney, who notoriously kept banging on about his French teacher and his French lessons around this circuit specifically. And now I'm banging on about the history of old tracks of Formula One.
Did you hear me?
Jens has had a really good drive. Comeback. Going up 8 positions, P8, scoring points. The other Alpine has no front wing, and has collided with the wall there. I think that was recent, and that's going to get changed, I hope. And the Williams behind, I think, also has no front wing. Yeah, those two better come into the pits. So, Josh is staying out. Very weird tactic, but I like it. Picasso. I'll stop banging on about the history now. I don't know what to say. Monaco. We're nearly done, guys. We're nearly there. Entertaining second half. First half was a bit meh, and now we've hit the meh stage again. Let me quickly pull up the tyres because I've been told to by no one. But soft tyres seem to be going on some cars now. Right, let's take a look. Let's think about this in terms of championship, right? AJ's gonna win, Lazy's gonna realistically come second, third, with non-bred Mercedes gonna get decent points haul. How much are Mercedes not leading by? Season 8. Oh, I have an advert, great, hold on. Oh, fight, David, squeezing into P6 through turn 1, very nice overtake. Driver of the day behavior. From David there. Yellow flag in sector 2 seems to be cleared up now. Where are we? Monaco, no, that's not what I want. Yes. Championship. Yeah, Hamby actually is overtaken Lazy, so Lazy will re-overtake Hamby. But in terms of constructors, Mercedes 20-something points off Haas, 20-something points off Williams. I think Mercedes will re-overtake Williams, but won't re-overtake Haas. That looks about right. Yeah, that looks about right. But, I sneeze. Sneezing does not count in the yawning tally, I should say, and I haven't yawned again. Swampy getting Kevin Callahan, the overtakes get made about this point. Unbeaten sign, cruising time penalty. I know I've missed a few of the overtakes, and I apologize for that. I was checking the driver gossip. One sneeze. There isn't a clause in my contract that says anything about sneezing. And plus, I didn't sneeze either. I didn't sneeze. I wanted to sneeze, but I didn't sneeze. And if I sneezed, I would mute because it'd be very loud because my mouth is 2 inches away from my microphone, and my nose is about if I do the Pythagoras 2 and 2. 2 squared plus 2 squared is 8. 8 square root of 8. 2 root 2. Yeah, about 2 root 2 inches away. Josh still running no front wing. Here we go. David on the climb now. Through turn 1 again. Look at him go. This is driver of the day antics. I might have to award David driver of the day today. For those schmoos, or should I give it to Alechi? I don't know. Chat, if you have any driver of the day suggestions, let me know. Or I might need to give it to non-bred, I don't know. We've had another retirement. Williams out of this race. We've lost Ferrari. We've lost Williams. And now Alfa Romeo as well. 3 entire teams knocked out of this race. One more retirement and everyone's scoring points, that's all I'll say. I heard Ali A-esque music in the background. No. I hope no one clips that. If I open general tomorrow and I see me singing the Ali A theme song in general, I might cry. It's an L for them teams. Yeah, it is an L. Big L. No points scored. It's very quiet. And then the rave music continues. How's David doing? David managed to get past Roy. If they can get within 3 seconds of Narbred, they can get on the podium. David can. And then you'd have to get into 3 seconds of Lazy, which I don't think you'll be able to do because Lazy's closing in on AJ. So let's keep an eye on this, eh? This is what it's gonna be. I don't know what to say. I have no words. Sign has left the lobby. I feel you. Somehow Lazy is catching AJ. Now the thing is, right, I think Lazy just accepts here. Well, okay, I say this, he's going to prove me wrong. I think Lazy just accepts the P2 here. You've got a 3-second penalty. Let's just quickly check the penalties. Yeah, you got a 3-second penalty. You might as well just take P2. There's no point trying to get the move done on track because you're just going to end up crashing. That's what I would say, but the drivers usually disagree with me. I'm like, screw it. I want to see if I can pull 3 seconds. They usually don't pull 3 seconds, and Josh Morton finally loses out on that position to Dino with that broken wing that he has refused to repair. Which does sound like Josh to me. But down the main straight, a little bit of DRS here should help the Mercedes out. Gonna look down the inside, maybe. No, they'll take the line a little bit tighter though. Now going up towards Casino. A little bit of a move can be made here if you feel so inclined, but it's very, very tight, very, very fast. No move, just trying to stay in formation here, stay in close to the gap of the other car behind. Here, now going down, now around into Hotel Hairpin. Takes a little bit wider line, does Lazy, compared to AJ. Trying to take a look, take a gander, to see what ounces of space there might be opportune for the taking on the next lap. But I think he's left it too late if he does want to try and pull 3 seconds. I doubt you're going to pull 3 seconds. Now into Novel Chicane. Puts the car in park, I think, there, for a moment. I saw P on the dash. Unless P means power. I don't really understand the F1 wheel displays. They're just very, very complex. B Process has left the session, who has been retired anyway. And we are on to the last racing lap, and I don't think Lazy's going to win this out. So we'll give everyone a little bit of a serenation as we go down. Narbred, really, really good race from Narbred. David, also brilliant race, closing up to Narbred. So he's going to get that position. Going to snag the podium, I feel. Roy, P5, good race from him, up 6. Swampy down 2, unfortunate. Gavin Cal up 6, very good. And Jens up 8, after a horrible, horrible start of pitting how many times? 5 times. Nowhere near as much as Dino, who actually gained 1 extra place. But I might give my drive of the day to Dino. Part there. Yes. This is an official statement from the commentator. I'm gonna give drive of the day to Dino, for his amazing perseverance, and securing a point. And AJ, just gonna take the race win. Congratulations. I don't need to give him drive of the day to tell him he did a good job. Lazy takes P2. David takes P3. Narbred takes P4. Has outscore Mercedes again. Roy P5. Swampy P6. Very, very strong finish for McLaren. That is what they needed. Kevin Cal P7. Jens P8. Smidge P9. And Dino is going to finish D10. And look at all those DNFs. Holy. What an adventure. And Dino is going to serenade us. He's going to celebrate his little driver of the day. And your weekend driver of the day, Dino, crosses the line to secure the W. Well, not the W, but to secure the W of driver of the day. It disagrees with me. It thinks Smidge. I personally think Dino. Unless I got my avatars mixed up. But I digress. We have a thing to do. AJ is going to go up onto the top step of the podium again for maybe the 4th time this season. Or maybe the 3rd time. If so, then it's a hat trick for the Haas driver. Very good job. Team could not be prouder. Look at all those real humans. Teammate could not be prouder. Getting up there. And Lazy obviously making presence as well. It's going to be an interesting episode of the podcast, but let's quickly go over the race results in the quick form. AJ, Lazy, David, Nonbread, Roy, Swampy, Kevin Cal, Yem, Smidge, Dino, Josh, Unbeaten Sign, Snoopy, B Process, Alechi, Team Red, Hamby, Mitch, Burr. I need to quickly go through all of this now for all the stewarding stuff so that they can see all the stuff that happened during the race. And oh my god, look how long this is. Holy, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Look at all this. Look at all the drive-through penalties up there. Jesus, there we go. And then the pit stops. I don't think I need to go through this, but I always do, just in case the stewards do need it. There we go. And let me get the drivers in here now. Let me get them in here, do a quick interview, and then I must skibby it up and scat. Lazy, AJ, and David. Oh god, they're not well. Maybe the part. I say the big 4 minus the Williams counterpart. But holy indeed. Are any of them actually going to join me? Hello? Oh no, they're here. They're here. I thought I was going to be lonely. But AJ, oh, they're all here. They all join at the same time. How convenient. Hello, lads.
Hello.
How
How's
are
it going?
we? Nice to have such celebrities in my commentating box. 3 of the big 4, arguably. I forget. Anyway. Who finished 3rd? I've already forgotten.
David.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, David. David, congrats. You're on the podium again. Nice to see you, homie. Nice to see all 3 of you, actually, I should say. But congratulations on surviving what was a tricky race today. Yeah. It's always very catastrophic, but tell us more about it.
Yeah, it was a pretty tricky race. First of all qualifying. Unfortunately, track limits in last run, but still a 1-2 for the team. And then, yeah, during the first stint, I picked up some wing damage by an error. Just some understeer hit the wall on the outside. Then boxed for hard. Went pretty well, I think. And then I was back in 3rd, but then I actually got a penalty. But then during the safety car, I got rear-ended massively by Unbeaten. I was just braking for the corner, and he just fully rear-ended me, like, looked like he didn't even brake. And then, yeah, I had to box onto the mediums, and yeah, still managed to recover a podium, so in the end, really happy with the result. But I could be more, but yeah, some good news from the McLarens and Kevin around the outside of turn 1.
I saw, very good news.
Yeah, those sound really good, so...
You were in my contention for driver of the day, but you didn't get it.
Got it?
No, you didn't get it.
Shame.
I gave it to Dino. The poor man, 6 pit stops and persevered and got up 9 positions to score a point.
Still solid point. No, but yeah, in the end, still really happy to receive a podium. I didn't expect it after the safety car incident, so that's a good point for the team and with the AJ win as well.
Do you feel like the stewards on the track today were very harsh? There seemed to be a lot of penalties going out to a lot of drivers.
Yeah, I picked up 2 warnings already after like 5 laps, so I had to be careful. Also, running after George, did not pick up a penalty, still finished 4th. But yeah, I think a lot of drive-throughs. So I know
about 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, unlucky for Alecci to pick up one after
very
doing
unlucky.
really well.
He was doing really
so
well.
Quick. Yeah, for me, to be honest, Alecci's drive today for what pace he showed, and really GG's to him. That unlucky to pick up the drive-through, of course. Yeah. That's a shame.
Sorry, George, are you in my chat?
George.
George, I think, has just infiltrated my chat. Anyway, he's obviously mad that you're on the podium, David.
Yeah.
But I think for the constructors, this keeps you on top, of course.
Yes, sir.
AJ chipping in there, just confirming my speculations. No Williams, double DNF from them today. I hope you lads out massively. And Mercedes, well, you outscore them, so naturally you stay on top.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been maybe a 1-2 without all the things happen, but I think in the end, still, to receive a double podium, I think still is a great result. So, yeah, really happy to still get a P1 and P3 for the team.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to catch the top 3 anytime soon. But just an interesting thing to note, it is 86 to AJ, 85 to Hamby, 84 to Lazy. So Lazy and AJ.
He'll catch Hamby.
Yeah, I'll catch Hamby.
Oh yes, you will actually. Sorry, my quick maths has failed me.
Yeah, for me right now, with AJ doing so well, I think the focus is not really on the drivers, but just to get the constructors in. And also to get a top 5 in the standings, you just receive a ticket for the 5-lap championship. Oh, that's also pretty important, I think. But yeah, with a P1
you get a what? A ticket?
Yeah, if you finish top 5 in the standings, I mean it's not confirmed yet, fully 100%, but there's gonna be a rule. If you finish top 5, you get a ticket for the 5-lap championship, and it's over like 4 leagues, I think.
You get an invite to a 5-lap champion. I didn't know about this.
It's 3 other leagues, but yeah, if you finish top 5 in your league, you get to drive the 5-lap championship automatically.
Do I get invited?
If you commentate.
Yeah, you can commentate, yeah.
I'll commentate it.
I'm sure we'll need one.
And if the other leagues have commentators, I'd love a full commentator. Full commentator.
All the leagues with one commentator, that will be chaos and fun at the same time.
No, just get every league's commentator and put it. I'm getting distracted.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I've spoken to David for like what feels like eternity. David, I'm gonna cut you off now. Any words for the public, aka George?
George, L, no podium. No.
Don't get a penalty.
Yeah, maybe he gets a revoke, so he still gets it. So
I think he'll be checking for the penalty. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was a great fight with both Swampy, Roy, and both in the city. So yeah, happy, great race in the end.
Amen. Right, David. Respectfully, get the hell out of my comms box, or don't. But shut your mouth.
No, I just want to listen to the Don't Browse with the dynamic.
Then zip.
Damn.
The passive. Monaco is turning passive aggressive. This is my villain arc. Lazy. Hello.
How's it going? You good?
I'm good. How are you, my man? How was a P2 finish at Monaco?
After a tense race, but yeah, P2, happy enough.
Fair.
Yeah.
I was expecting more of an answer, so I could think of another question. But I mean, you had a pretty solid drive. I mean, I think your strategy worked out pretty well. I think, did you go for? Well, David had a really atrocious strategy of pitting really early, which, to be fair, worked out for him.
It worked out perfectly for him.
But I think you pitted not did you pit? You pitted like AJ pitted, and then you pitted when AJ pitted, didn't you?
I pitted lap 15, I think it was.
Yeah, that was it.
It was the virtual safety car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was under the safety car. Yeah.
So I mean, well, that helped you out a lot with your positioning, I assume. Stuck you up in that top, I think 5, and then you made 2 moves on some people to get up to P3 for the second VSC.
I think the whole incident with like David and Unbeaten helped me out quite a bit.
Seb.
Yeah, Seb.
Oh yeah, Seb. I forgot about that. My memory is failing me as of recently. I think I'm gaining some dementia. Anyway, in terms of the championship, you're looking at a positional improvement over Hamby, due to both the Williams not finishing. And constructors-wise, you should overtake Williams. So it's back to a Haas Mercedes Williams top 3 again. How are you feeling about your current championship statuses of you, your teammate, and your constructor?
Well, in terms of the constructors, I mean, we're in the fight, so happy enough. But I think for George, you can definitely do more. I mean, he got very unfortunate at the start of the season. It was very unfortunate at the start of the season. He sorted out his problems, and he's back up towards the front today, so I'm sure he'll be doing that challenging every week, so...
I mean, ever since last week when his Wi-Fi's gotten better, I gotta give it to him. He was up there today, and he was up there last weekend on the podium, so I mean, I can't... It might have just been 2 flukes, but he might be... I'm
sure it'll be
AJ
and more and more.
AJ might actually have a fight at last. AJ and David and the Williams team might have an extra person to deal with.
Yeah, in terms of my own standings, a little bit disappointed considering where I was and how the last 2 races went, but hopefully we'll be able to keep going strong and keep getting good results.
I mean, we had to skip out on the Lazy podcast due to technical difficulties last week. For 2 weeks, yeah.
Bad times.
But, yeah, I mean, Mercedes, you're up there in the fights. It's very nice to see a 3-way title fight that is so consistent yet inconsistent at the same time. But, no, keep it up. I like the fights. Keep it going. Very fun. It's just a shame that we can't have 4 people on a podium, eh?
Be interviewing the entire grid.
I would be. But, right, I will let you go with your final words.
I don't have any. Just happy enough. Happy to be here.
Okay, he's happy to be here. Amen. Okay. I won't be as passive-aggressive towards Lazy. AJ. You've broken your Monaco curse.
I did. Thank God.
Congratulations. You also didn't have Zach here talking about his French teacher the whole time, which may have been part of the reason of the curse. But
maybe.
Anyway, how was the race from your perspective, AJ?
It was good. Obviously, I wasn't with the last 20 laps. I really wasn't pushing hard. I knew, I wasn't gonna pit again after my first pit stop, so it was all about just keeping track, position and not getting damage and losing that. So, I mean, I was driving extra careful. And towards the end there, I was trying to slow Mark and George down into David with their 3-second penalties, but David had a little too much to do after that incident with Unbeaten. So, still happy for a double podium, but yeah, I'm happy to finally win at Monaco. It's been a long time.
Is this the first W at Monaco?
It is.
Oh wow! A special congratulations then. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought about sending it into a 1.
Yeah, he did. He did. I told him not to, though. I was able to convince
I
him not
did.
to.
I did say I would be very surprised if David shoved AJ into the wall again.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
I
was
also
good.
wouldn't be surprised. I didn't know how to feel on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I mean, I've heard enough about your championship. But do you want us to comment on your championship again?
It'll be tough. Because I'm gonna miss Qatar, which is unfortunately a sprint weekend, so there's a lot of points there. So that one will hurt. So I need to kind of
Really
step it up
show
these
it
next
up
couple.
in Saudi and
Yeah.
USA and Britain and Vegas.
Yeah. So I can give myself a little bit of a buffer, at least. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I mean, Mark and Hamby and David have a little bit of a edge on me at the moment because I'm missing a race. But yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm happy to keep the lead. After last week, I wasn't so sure I would. And after last week, I'm happy to bounce back and win.
That's good.
That was
That's good.
Yeah, not a great race last weekend, and I mean, I guess it was a learning curve too because I did everything I could to not get a drive-through or speed through the Delta. So I was just being extra cautious about that because I just didn't want anything to mess it up and,
Where did you
send
come
me to the
last
back.
week?
10th after penalties were applied. So still got a point.
On my system, aka the app, it says you won last weekend, so your championship position might be wrong.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
I'm gonna have to, because Roy did those results, so I'm gonna yell at Roy first, and then I am then gonna change them. But the points have been wrong, so don't listen to any of the points that Roy put out.
Yeah, but I should still be in the lead.
Maybe.
I should still be in the lead.
It might be a bit closer than originally thought.
Maybe.
But, yes, okay, I'll amend that. I've just seen that, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. Anyway, final words.
I think we covered it all. I'm just happy to win, and hopefully we can do it again next week. Another street track.
Any choice words for your competition?
Stop breathing down my neck, Mark.
No, I don't.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see you next Sunday. We'll see you in the wall next Sunday.
You'll put me there.
I'll be putting you there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. Before that bickering
just
gets...
wave by and just take the winner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, David's just happy to be here.
That's fine, man. That's fine.
You guys, before your bickering gets too immense, please vacate from my comms box. I will see you probably again soon. Some of you, if not all of you. Anyway,
hopefully.
Have a good one, lads.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks for coming.
See ya. No problemos, lads. No problemos. What a bunch of nerds. Well, thank you all for joining me. It's been a very good race. So yeah, thank you. We'll see you next week from, I believe, Saudi Arabia. Or Saudi Arabia. Another street track sprint weekend, I believe. Let me just double check that. It might be a sprint weekend. I don't know. Unless we've already had, I think we've had 2 or 3. So I don't think it will be a sprint weekend. But I do just want to double check. Saudi Arabia. No, not a sprint weekend. Back-to-back sprints, Austin and then Losail. Okay, so yes, Jeddah next week. Not a sprint race. I'll see you all there, hopefully. Actually, I might not see you there. I might be out racing. Depends. I should see you there. If not, then have a good one, guys. It's been amazing. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.